NBA legend explained how crazy good Larry Bird was. So we reacted to a couple Larry Bird videos. Ultimate Mixtape, Trash Talking, Assist Highlights, and what was the last one? And Making the Case for him being the GOAT. So we reacted to 4 videos. Before the first video, bro, I had no idea how good he was. Like I always heard you always hear the legends, but watching that video really made me understand how good he really was, bro. And after that, after we watched the the next few videos, he became in my top 5 all time, bro. Top 5 all time. But yeah, so now I know how good he actually is. Now it's time to hear other legends talking about how good he was. So yeah, let's just hop right into it.
The man from Indiana who gave us an
This is actually
80s
a
to
very
remember
interesting
by
video.
lighting up a battle between the Celtics and the Lakers will forever be heralded as one of the players who saved basketball. Bird and Magic's coast-to-coast war and jaw-dropping styles gave
Yeah,
the
so also from watching the Showtime documentary, at the time, right, like the NBA wasn't popular like at all, and it was actually maybe on the brink of going out or whatever. But then Magic and Bird came in and they kind of saved the franchise and the league and stuff. So yeah, let me know down below if that's accurate. But if they did, bro,
NBA the
that
boost
even
it
cements
needed
them
before
more.
the
You know what I
emergence
mean?
of Michael
As
Jordan. But for
some of the best
Bird, with
players.
3 titles, 2 Finals MVPs, and 3 consecutive MVP seasons, some forget just how good he really was. Today we look at NBA players explaining how crazy good Larry Bird was.
Yeah, like I feel like most of the generation, I guess, watching now, bro, I had fucking no idea of how good the past players were. Even when all the analysts and stuff still talk about them, like being like up there. Bro, I feel like my generation just doesn't really know. You know what I mean? So
In his prime.
I could agree with that.
Before we get into all that, if you want to win a PS5 with NBA 2K22 and Madden NFL 22
Shit, bro,
included,
that look like a bad
leave a
ankle
like,
injury.
comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. When speaking of the NBA's
Yo, we gotta react
greatest
to
of
a
all
Dr.
time,
J
there's
video
always
too.
5
I
or
keep
10
forgetting to
guys
react
that
to a
hit the
Dr. J
list.
video.
Each carries a different generation. From 50s Bill Russell to 60s Wilt Chamberlain or 70s Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 80s Magic Johnson, 90s Michael Jordan, 2000s Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant, to today's LeBron James.
Yeah.
Some get overlooked when they shouldn't. For example, Tim Duncan.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, bro. I hear Tim Duncan's the greatest power forward of all time. Is that shit true? All time? I think I seen him play for maybe 2 years in the league. His last years with the Spurs. But I really don't remember him like thinking, damn, he's good, you know what I mean? So I gotta react to one of his videos, but
And others get
all
left
time is
behind
crazy.
because of the lack of titles, like Charles Barkley.
Yup.
What happens when all these players talk of another great as if he was like no other? Larry Bird was lauded by most of these legends, because he was one of them too. He was consistent, tough, offensively masterful, and one of the first big guys
Larry
to
was
shoot
different.
many three-point
Larry
shots.
legend.
LeBron James spoke candidly in an interview about how he was one of the few guys ever to win a three-point contest with a warm-up shirt on.
Yeah, we saw
LeBron
that.
referring to the time Larry won his 3rd consecutive three-point contest.
Oh, that was his
James
3rd?
continued,
I didn't
For
know
young
that.
guys that don't know him, they think of Larry Bird as a jump shooter.
That's what I thought.
But he was so much more than that. He was a passer. He averaged double-digit
Bro,
rebounds.
he could do it all, bro. That's what I said when I seen the first video. I was like, yeah, he's a good shooter, but can he play defense? Can he make plays, pass? And then you guys put me onto the more videos of and bro, he could literally do it all. Like he was what the game has evolved to today back then, which is crazy, bro. And he's like what 6'10", you guys tell me, bro. That's crazy.
He defended, he took charges, and it's just straight up complete
that a
basketball
Kermit
player.
fraud?
And me as a
Kermit
small
fraud?
forward.
What the fuck?
Later in his career, LeBron adapted his game to the new way of basketball, which was a charge led by the Golden State Warriors in shooting
Curry
more
changed
from
the game.
behind the arc. LeBron was considered a big guy, but began shooting more threes and no doubt was heavily influenced by the fact that Larry Legend had already achieved this feat in the 80s. In another interview when asked about his top 3 of all time, LeBron put Larry Bird firmly in there with MJ and Dr. J.
My God, 3, Larry Bird, Dr. J. Michael Jordan.
Shaq had a very
He
different
put Larry
opinion on
Bird.
Larry.
Is that in
initially.
order?
He said he disliked Bird because he was
That
jealous.
shit can't be in
he
order,
thought,
bro.
how could this regular-looking guy do everything?
Never really had a chance to play against Larry Bird, but I actually used to hate Larry Bird. I
Why?
hated him.
Shaq soon realized as he grew older and
That's
wiser that
what
despite
the
getting the
fuck,
luck
bro.
of the Irish with the Celtics, Larry
That's
made
a-
his own
I mean, I
luck
can't
when
even
it
be
came to
surprised
shooting
by
the
shit
ball.
he doesn't work, but I
Shaq,
mean,
at
damn,
7
bro,
foot
it's just
1,
like,
of
damn.
course, had a completely different style of game at the
Yeah,
time.
bully ball.
He was built to the max and used brute force to impose his will on the defense and rack up the points, blocks, and rebounds. Shaq was also faster than most give him credit for, particularly in the early part of his career.
O'Neal the rebound. Now the Magic with a final shot chance.
The fuck, that's not a
O'Neal
fucking
runs the floor.
route?
Takes it all the way.
Double dribble?
Bird was notoriously slow, which was all the more testament to his skill set, but his basketball IQ was just on a different planet.
I really was.
He once sank a shot from behind the backboard, which O'Neal chalked down to a fluke following a bet with his friend.
Cam Vincent to Bird.
That shit is so tough, bro.
I've seen everything.
Shaq never really got the chance to play against Larry Bird, which is unfortunate, because I don't think it would have taken him so long to recognize greatness.
Yeah.
On the other hand, six-time NBA champion Kareem Abdul-Jabbar battled Bird on numerous occasions while playing with the Showtime Lakers. Bird got the better of him in the 1984 finals, and took another two in a decade that was largely dominated by the purple and gold. Kareem spoke about how Larry might have been the best he had played
Yo,
against.
he was
and said
really
that-
fighting, bro, back in the day. That's crazy.
People, I don't think people
People
look
don't
at him and think,
appreciate it.
oh,
Yeah,
he's
they
a
don't
white
know.
guy, slow guy.
The chubby white guy, he wore us out, man. You know, because he just,
Mental.
this muscle here, the one between his ears,
Yeah.
that was his best, you know, because he made the
shit.
3-pointers and
Oh,
he had
shit.
assists and rebounded, steals.
Oh my god.
always-
No, bro. See, like, I already saw a passing video, but, bro, that shit was clean as shit.
3-pointers,
Like, come
and he
on.
had assists and rebounded,
Look
steals.
at that.
He was always at the right place at the right time on the court. You know, one of the great players, I had the opportunity to play against.
11-time All-Star Charles Barkley, a regular season MVP during his
I think that's one of the best ways you could describe a player, bro. Always at the right place at the right time. Like, you guys have played with players like that, you know what I mean? So, you know exactly what I mean by that, bro. I think that's one of the biggest compliments you could give somebody.
star-filled 90s was once asked, "Are you better than Bird?" And he took a long pause before answering, which is very
Dude,
telling.
really?
Am I better than Bird?
Well, that tells a lot,
that's
'cause
great
Barkley-
question.
If they
Most
asked some
great
Jordan
players
Hewett shit
respond
for sure.
immediately with how they think they're the best, because you have to
Yeah.
have that kind of mentality in order to get to the top. Instead, Barkley answered,
I'm a better rebounder. I'm probably a better defender. He's a better shooter, obviously. You know, a
Playmaker.
lot of people talk about who's
Passer.
better.
But you have to think, you have to have that mentality.
No, you
I would
know,
take
you
Bird over
know,
Barkley.
you know. If I think, you know, it's a team game.
I think deep down he knew that Bird was a better player.
Yeah.
And for someone as good as
Yeah,
Chuck to
bro,
be
and
stumped
for-
like
for
that in an
Barkley
interview
to-
shows
to
you how
give that
heavy the
answer?
weight of Larry Bird's legacy was.
Yeah.
Former teammate Kevin
That's
McHale
tough.
also references how unreal Bird was while playing with Boston, claiming the Sixth Man of the Year award twice, along with 7 All-Star appearances. His story of a specific Detroit game is fascinating. There was a bit of time left on the clock, and we had beaten Detroit, and I just scored 56, and I'm walking off the court, and Larry said, "Where are you
56?
going?" I said, "I'm done." I said, "I'm exhausted. I'm tired." Larry goes, "Don't do it, man, because when I get that hot, I'm not coming out of the game." A week later, he got that hot. He looked at me at about 50 points, and he looked at me and said, "I told you." The pair would go on to win 3 titles together, and McHale would continue to tell stories that live on in Celtics folklore forevermore. A highlight being a throwback from Bird's brutal trash talk at a game in Phoenix.
We have a play, out of bounds play. I'm taking it out, and Larry says, "I'm going to bust off the play, and I'm just going to come out, and I'm going to shoot a 3." And I'm like, "We're down 2." I'm like, "No, don't do that." I'm like, "Let's shoot a 2, please. Go to the hole, try to get fouled. Let's just get into overtime, see if we can't win this game." And Larry says, "No, I'm just going to bust a 3 on him." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh." So he tells the Phoenix bench, he tells the coaches, "Yeah, I'm just fixing to bust a 3 on you guys and just go home. I'm tired of this." And he gets the ball, jumps out, busts the play, comes out, gets the ball at the slot, shoots the ball. As the ball's in the air, he kind of turns towards the Phoenix bench and yells,
Bro, if that is true, which I really don't doubt, that has to be one of the coldest moments that was never caught on camera. To game it and the shot's mid-air, bro, to turn around, bro, that's... Oh, bro, if that was caught on tape,
"Told you so."
that probably would
Larry's
have been the
mental
coldest
game was
moment.
such that he could just open up any team and tear them apart. He would use psychological warfare on a regular basis. Players speak of his toughness not because of his size or physicality, but because of his mind. He would impose his will on the opposition and could
That's
force
a
them
weird
off
ass
their
drawing.
game just as much as he could switch on his. A mastermind at trash talk tactics,
Yeah.
Larry Bird will forever go down in history as one of the greatest trash talkers
And I
of
had
all
no
time.
idea that
And in the
he
80s, that
would trash
mattered.
talk like
With
that.
players such as Bill Laimbeer, Hakeem Olajuwon, Magic Johnson, and the eventual emergence of Michael Jordan, Bird did what was necessary in order to gain that mental edge that took him over the top. James Worthy, the 1988 Finals MVP, simply stated that Larry was trash-talking all the time, but the problem was he could back it up.
Yeah, he could back it up. So,
Yeah, see, that's worse, bro. Like, if getting trash talk, you know, just saying you're dog shit, or, you know, you're trash and shit like that, I would take that trash talk than this dude telling me what he's gonna do, telling my team what he's gonna do, you know what I mean? And actually doing that shit, bro. That shit's way worse.
when you're arrogant and you can back it up, you're not arrogant. You're just good.
Yeah.
And Larry was good.
Even Werther's former teammate Magic Johnson spoke on the fact that he had a real dislike for Larry Bird as far back as their college playing days for the very reason that Larry would constantly
Yeah,
get
the
the better of him.
documentary showed
Johnson
like a whole...
claimed in a recent interview during a
Or more
press
like-
build-up
more like
for the
Larry
Broadway
Bird was just
play
an
about the
asshole
pair
to
that after he
Magic.
beat Larry in the NCAA championship game in 1979, the most watched college basketball game ever, by the time he
Was
got
it
to
really?
the Lakers, they were 0-8 to the Celtics.
You had to hate the Celtics to beat them because when I got here, we were 0-4, I think 8, and then the first time against the Celtics, and then in championship series, and then we lost that in '84. That made us 0-9, I believe.
And later is quoted as saying, "When I played, Larry Bird was the only one I feared." Not bad when hearing it from a five-time champion and one of the true great basketball
Yep.
players of all time. At the 2019 NBA Awards, Johnson received the NBA Lifetime Achievement Award, but it was shared with guess who? Larry Bird. Bird was simply the king of talking the talk, then actually going out and walking the walk.
Listen, man, retirement is great for you because you never talked this long.
Dominique Wilkins recounts one of the most famous games where Larry Bird promised Kevin
Damn.
McHale he was going to break McHale's record against Atlanta. Wilkins said,
He got so hot in that game that you talk about that patented
Oh,
step
that was
back.
that
He
game where the
doing that step
Hawks
back,
pitch was
and he
cheering
switched
for
it to
him?
his left hand 3 separate times in that game and hit a 3. He was scoring anywhere on the floor that he wanted.
Is this when the
I mean,
bench
it
was giving
unbelievable.
each other five?
The bench was giving each other 5.
So did you get in a fight with them after the game? Forget Larry. Did you beat anybody on the bench?
this
Nah,
way.
bro, when the other bench is cheering for you, bro, you know you're
$3,000.
doing something special.
Larry's legend lives on because of the greats that want to tell them. The reason there's a list
That's
of
true.
top 10 players who consistently call Bird their toughest opponent or one of their all-time greats is because
Damn, that
Larry
was Wilkins
himself
too?
is in that list. Larry is a top 10 baller of all time.
Yep.
His style
Top
doesn't
five,
matter
top
when
five.
his skill sinks the opposition. Because above all, the opposition will remember. They'll remember the steals, the shots, the clutch plays, and the trash
What the
talk.
fuck?
They'll remember the Bird from the early 80s, not from the early 90s. The Larry who stepped out on the court in his warm-up jacket
Got
and
a
made
poster?
Michael Jordan recoil in envy. MJ announced,
He ain't took off his top yet. I didn't see when he took off his top.
well, when Bird did, it was all business. He
He
may
didn't
as well have
take it
taken a
off.
mop and bucket to the floor because he was about to clean up. He was an impetuous and never relenting opponent that took the life from anyone who stepped onto his battlefield. The consensus is a resounding stamp of legendary status for the man who will forever go down in the history books as one of the greatest ever players, and arguably the greatest ever Celtic to grace the court. What did you think of Larry Bird in his prime?
Yeah, man, Larry was a legend. Somebody told me too, one of you guys commented that he like played through a lot of injuries too. Like he suffered a lot of injuries and he played through them. I think actually one of you guys recommended me a video to watch of him and his injuries and how he played through them and stuff. But yeah, bro, like Larry, he could do it all, bro. Like I said, he could score. I thought he was just a shooter at first, but then, bro, watching these videos, no, he could do it all, bro. Defend, play make, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, he's top 5. You guys let me know down below where you guys have him. Also, if you have any other videos you want me to react to, leave it down below in the comments. But that's gonna do it for this one. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.